Good morning. My name's Stephen Fenn. I'm a commercial and industrial energy manager. I'm here to talk to you and explain about the exciting and memorable ISO 50001 energy management system. The ISO 50001 system was introduced in 2011. ISOs are agreed by 164 countries around the world, which is the leading developed countries. So an international standard is truly international. The early adopters were the big, large, major corporations, and now, after a year or two, it's gradually filtering down to smaller, medium, large organisations, universities, that sort of size businesses. What ISO 50001 is a systematic understanding of how to manage your energy in large buildings. That can be factories, town halls, councils, or whatever. So why does your business or your organisation need an energy management system? The first thing it does is it removes picking out odd items and saying, that sounds like a good idea, let's have a look at that. That sounds like a good idea, let's have a look at that. If you are working to make your business or organisation overall to be efficient, organised, to be resourceful, to reduce the outgoings and to be competitive in the marketplace, then ISO 50001 would help you in that goal. So if you're looking to become lean and green, which means efficient and helping towards climate change, then ISO 50001 provides you with a world-class standard to follow. The question is, do you actually manage and control your energy consumption? Are you taking a grip, or are the energy suppliers and your energy consumption just disappearing and you just pay the bills, whatever they are? I track the daily wholesale markets. You see on the left-hand side, 15 years ago, wholesale gas prices in the UK were about 12 pence a therm. In 2008, they hit the top line, they were 100 pence a therm, just under. And then we had the big financial crash. So the bubble burst, prices came right down because no one was buying gas because no one was using it. All the big factories were closing down, etc. Over the last 4 years, gas prices have now increased. They're now 1.75 times higher than they were then. So it's a 75% increase in 4 years. That's much more than inflation, much more than most profits are increasing. So it's a very serious cost energy. Whereas 15 years ago, no one thought anything of it. So ISO 50001, first of all, concentrates on cutting your energy waste. If you were to open that window and stand there throwing £20 notes out, or if it was in the high street, throwing £20 notes out, you'd be throwing your money away. If you open the window and let your heat go out, effectively you're doing exactly the same thing. But you don't notice the heat, you just notice the pound notes. So ISO 50001 helps you reduce your energy costs, and in the process, you're also helping climate change because you're reducing your energy emissions, your carbon dioxide emissions. You're not only helping globally the world as far as climate change is concerned, but you're also helping your organisation become more competitive and more sustainable in its own right, because if your bills are lower, you're more likely to sustain and stay in business. ISO 50001 is a step-by-step process that you follow. It was put together by the world's leading energy experts, and it's a comprehensive, overall, systematic approach. Saving energy doesn't mean just spending loads of money on technology. It doesn't mean you have to suddenly take massive rate overdrives in order to reduce your energy consumption. Lots of the principles of ISO 50001 and good energy management practice is to find low-cost and no-cost ways of saving energy. ISO 50001 takes an approach to incorporate energy saving into the total organisation. So it forms part of the genes, the DNA of the organisation. When you come in the morning and you turn your lights on, when you open the doors, when you're open for business, so you're into the concept of thinking about your energy saving as well. It's a process of continual improvement, which means it's not a 1 week exercise, it's not a 1 month exercise, it's not what we're doing this year, it is a continuous evolving process. Sounds complicated, it's not. You've got 2 choices with ISO 50001. The first is simply to adopt the processes and the principles of good class energy management saving. That is the principal benefit. So that helps you reduce your consumption, helps you reduce your energy charges. That's good enough. You can then choose to go on and become certified by an auditor, and you can obtain the standard which you can put on your website, put on your press releases, etc. That's up to you. It's an optional extra. It costs a little bit of money to get the certification for the surveyor to come out, but either one or both is your choice. ISO 50001 takes a holistic view, which means it doesn't just look at, as I said, isolated odd ways of saving energy or improving efficiency. It looks at the whole organisation from top to bottom. It's based on a team approach, which means that everyone's involved, from the top director, the principals, right down to the cleaner, etc. You all share a common goal, which means that everyone knows what the organisation's trying to achieve and everyone gets involved in that concept. It includes detailed energy analysis, which means that if you don't know where your energy is going, you don't know how you're using it, you can't possibly start taking steps to improve it. So you need to take some detailed analysis, which is fairly straightforward to do. Many faults and problems that are ongoing that you don't see on a day-to-day basis come up in this process, and it includes the process of monitoring and targeting on a regular basis, so you're actually measuring and seeing how you're improving your performance. ISO 50001 is based on a common process of plan, do, check and act. You start off taking stock, you understand where your energy is going, and then you identify ways that you can improve your energy consumption, improve efficiencies. That's the planning process. The doing process is actually implementing those plans that you've conceived. You then stop, take a deep breath and say, how have we done? What savings have we made? What's working, what's not working? So you're checking your progress, and then you say, okay, we'll now go on to the next stage and we'll drop some of those ideas, we'll introduce some more ones, and you go around again to plan again. So it is a process of continual improvement. These are some of the graphs I use for understanding how energy is being consumed in different areas of a business. So you see day-to-day graphs, you see lots of figures. What that does is it helps identify different opportunities for saving energy that probably would have been unnoticed. Everyone from time to time has problems with meter readings. There are lots of organisations that are still paying for meters that were taken out years ago, but the bills keep coming in. In the council, with lots of buildings, there's always those sort of problems. There's lots of businesses, lots of organisations paying for someone else's energy, because the cables are under the ground, through the pavements, they come up, there's a cable, there's your meter. Actually, it's someone else's energy bills you're actually paying for. Lots of settings are set up 10 years ago. Life moves on, we have different shifts in time zones. Circumstances change, maybe you're not working on the Saturdays as you were. Energy is still disappearing in lots of rooms and buildings. Some heating systems are left on 24 hours a day. It's that sort of analysis that comes out of this process. Finally, there's lots of problems with energy bills. There's lots of inefficient processes that are very simply resolved and changed. And there's lots of leaks out of gas and electricity, etc. When I say energy, I don't just mean electricity and gas. Electricity and gas plus LPG plus oil plus transport involved in work, which means it can be transport to and from work, it can be transport in between working hours. That can be incorporated into ISO 50001. So unusually, the two sides come together. ISO 50001, I'll run through the benefits. If you make a 10% saving on your energy consumption, next year prices have gone up by 5%, your savings have actually increased. So you get an increasing return on that investment, whether it's solar panels or whether it's better insulation. The returns improve year by year. ISO 50001 is internationally recognised. So if you're going to do exporting, you're wanting to be a leading light in your particular sphere, every country knows what ISO 50001 does. It looks very good on your website. It is also important for council tenders and large organisations, the big supermarkets or whatever, who increasingly look to see environmental credentials. It also helps improve employee relationships because your employees are getting involved in this. It helps improve your customer relationships, and it helps you build a streamlined, efficient organisation. So, competitive edge, reduced maintenance charges, and a simple step-by-step continual process. What's involved? I said there was no one simple thing. It is an overall process. It isn't looking globally at the whole organisation. So it's a process of checking through and identifying room for improvement in a whole series of different areas. A bit like going to the doctor and saying you've got a sore throat or going in for a full-blown scan. This is the full-blown scan. There are lots and lots of European Union incentives or kicks up the backside to get all of Europe moving in a climate-friendly direction. The European Union has set high targets for the next few years, plus ongoing criteria, which is coming through in different kinds of legislation. At the bottom, the Carbon Reduction Commitment Energy Efficiency Scheme involves lots of public organisations and large businesses. That was originally introduced as an incentive scheme. Very quickly, it was changed into a carbon tax. That tax now raises £1 billion a year on the leading companies, the businesses, and larger organisations. So it's a painful process. Consequently, all the big organisations, they've had to really address energy efficiency. So you see the likes of Tesco's, Sainsbury's, they're all taking energy consumption very seriously. There are lots and lots of green taxes coming through on your energy bills. We all hear about it's the energy supplier's fault, but actually a large chunk of your energy charges are just green taxes. How much do you want to save? 1%, 5%, 10%? Elite Hotels, which is a local big hotel group, reduce their energy consumption by 23% in 1 year. Edwards Pumps, you mentioned, they've reduced energy by 36%. Tesco's have got an aim to reduce energy by 50%. Sussex Downs College are on a programme to reduce by 25%. Co-op 35% and 38% on 6,000 stores. So if they can do it, these are some of the companies that have obtained certification. It tends to be initially the bigger companies and then it starts working down. Google, Coca-Cola, Costa Coffee, Marriott Hotels. You're possibly next on there. ISO 50001 helps you free up your cash, reduce your overheads and become energy efficient. So if that's your plan, that's your goal, you're in any of those organisations, any of those industries, because it's applicable from the largest company, the largest worldwide organisation down to small enterprise. ISO 50001 works exactly the same. It's just a step-by-step process. They're my details. If I can help you, please let me know. Thank you very much.